Please subscribe to Info and Education. Thank you. Please subscribe to Info and Education. Thank you.
What is the fastest way to find the square root of 1225? In order to understand the fastest way to find the square root of a number up to 4 digits, we need to know the squares of the first 10 natural numbers. Here's the table. These are the squares of the first 10 natural numbers. Most of us know this at the top of our head, and this will help us find the square root of large numbers like these. Take a moment to observe the squares. Look at the units digits. 1 and 1, 4 and 4, 9 and 9, and so on. The units digit of 1 squared is the same as the units digit of 9 squared. The units digit of 2 squared is the same as the units digit of 8 squared, and so on. Keep this concept in mind. We will come back to it. For now, let's come back to our question. Square root of 1225. The square root of a 4-digit number will always be 2 digits long. Yes, always. And this number 1225 will help us get those 2 digits. So the first step is to draw a bar over the 2 digits from the right, 25. And then draw a bar over the remaining digits. This part will give us the tens digit. To find the tens digit, we see where 12 is placed in the squares column. It's placed between 9 and 16. We can write it as 9 less than 12, which is less than 16. It lies between 3 squared and 4 squared. The tens digit will be the lower of the two, and that's 3. We find which squares it lies between and write the square root of the lower square as the tens digit. And how do we find the units digit? It's easy. The units digit of the number 1225 is 5. Now understand this well. Only 5 times 5 can give us a 5 in the units place. So the units digit has to be 5. 35 is the square root of 1225. This technique just looks long, but it's super quick when you understand it well. We marked 2 digits from the right and then drew a bar over the remaining ones. This gave us the tens digit of the square root, and the units digit of the number gave us the units digit of the square root. Okay, the next example will give you a better idea. Square root of 6241. We write the number 6241, draw a bar over 2 digits from the right, and then a bar over the remaining digits. We know that a 4-digit number will have a 2-digit square root. And 62 will give us the tens digit of the square root. 62 lies between 49 and 64, so it lies between 7 squared and 8 squared. We choose the lower number, which is 7. This is the tens digit of the square root of 6241. Now for the units digit. The units digit of the number 6241 is 1. Now it gets interesting. 1 multiplied by 1 also gives us 1 in the units place, and so does 9 multiplied by 9. So will the answer be 71 or 79? It has to be one of these two. To know which one it is, we first have to multiply 7 with its successor, and that's 8. 7 times 8 is 56. Now we simply compare this number with 56. If it's greater, then 79 will be the square root, and if smaller, then 71 will be the square root. And here we can see that 62 is greater than 56. As 62 is greater than 56, we can say that the square root of 6241 is 79 and not 71. It's easy. Getting the tens digit was straightforward, and the units digit depends on the product of the tens digit and its successor. If this number here is greater than the product, then the units digit will be greater of the two. In the first example, we did not face this issue as only 5 times 5 can give us 5 in the units place. We have to find the square root of 8836. To use the technique, we need to know the squares of the first 10 digits. And we also know that the square root of a 4-digit number will always be 2 digits long. And the number 8836 will give us the digits. We draw a bar over 2 digits from the right and then draw 1 over the remaining digits. This part gives us the tens digit. The number 88 will give us the tens digit. Where does 88 lie in the squares column? It lies between 81 and 100. It lies between 9 squared and 10 squared. And to get the tens digit, we take the lower of the two. 9 will be the tens digit. How do we get the units digit? The units digit of the number 8836 is 6. It implies that there are two possibilities for the units digit. It can either be 4 or 6, because both 4 times 4 and 6 times 6 will give us the units digit as 6. But which one will it be? To find that, we multiply the tens digit with its successor. That will be 9 times 10, which gives us 90. Once this is done, we compare this number in the middle with 90. 88, as we can see, is clearly less than 90. And that is why we take the lower number 4. As 88 is less than 90, we can say that the square root of 8836 is 94 and not 96. So the tens digit is easily found, and for the units digit, we find the product of the tens digit with its successor and compare it with this number in the middle. If the number in the middle is smaller, we take the smaller one here, and if it's larger, we take the larger one here. This even works with 5-digit numbers if you know the squares of slightly higher numbers. Let's try finding the square root of 13,689. These are the squares of the first 10 numbers. We use the same technique we used for the 4-digit numbers. We write the number 13,689 down and mark 2 digits from the right. And then we draw a bar over the remaining digits. We look at this number, the number 136. It is greater than 100. 11 squared is 121. And 12 squared is 144. 136 lies between these two. It lies between 11 squared and 12 squared. And we take the lower of the two, 11. Now the units digit of the number is 9. It means that the units digit of its square root will either be 3 or 7. 3 times 3 is 9 and 7 times 7 gives us the units digit as 9. To know which of these two will be in the units digit, we multiply 11 with its successor. 11 times 12. That equals 132. Now this number in the middle is greater than 132. 136 is greater than 132. As 136 is greater than 132, we choose the larger of the two. The square root will equal 117 and not 113. That's how we can find the square roots of large numbers really fast. Okay, forget large numbers. What if I asked you to find the square root of 164? How will you find it? 164 is not a perfect square. So how will you find the square root? That's exactly what we will cover in the next few videos.
Please subscribe to Info Education.